Apollo and Daphne. Apollo loved all life's beauties. One day, at Delphi, he was shooting at targets with his old golden arrows. While he was practicing, young Eros, the winged son of Aphrodite, arrived on the scene looking for a chance to enmesh Apollo in some affair of the earth. Seeing that Apollo's arrow had just plunged to the apple hanging from a distant bough, Eros raised his bow and aimed it at the same target. "Leave me alone, little boy, and let me shoot my arrows," said Apollo in annoyance, "and don't be rash enough to try your skill against mine." "I know your arrows never miss, but mine too hit their mark," replied Eros, even more annoyed than Apollo, and with that he opened his wings and flew up onto the slopes of Mount Parnassus. There he drew two arrows from his quiver, one to arouse love and the other to make beloved feel only fear and dislike. With the first arrow he wounded Apollo to the earth, and with the second he shot at the nymph Daphne, daughter of the river Peneus, who happened to be passing by at the moment. Pierced by the dart of love, Apollo was dazzled by the nymph's lovely face and noble form, and went over to speak to her. Daphne, however, had been struck by the arrow with rejected love, and as soon as she saw Apollo, she moved further away. Then the golden-haired god came closer still, but with hasty steps, Daphne moving even farther from him. With a few quick bounds, Apollo tried once again to approach the lovely nymph. That was enough. Daphne took to her heels. Now Apollo ran after her as if possessed, crying to her to stop. But she ran ever swifter. Both arrows aroused had found their mark. "Stop! Stop! I beg you," Apollo pleaded. "I don't wish to harm you." But the fleet-footed nymph continually evaded its clutches. However, Apollo did not give up and kept on running after her and begging her to stop. "Don't be afraid, lovely nymph," he called. "Why do you flee as if some wild beast were pursuing you? I'm not evil. I am Apollo, the son of Zeus. Stop running like a frightened deer. I beg you." But Daphne kept running. At times Apollo gained on her, and it seems that he would catch her, and at times she would surge ahead with a sudden bound. Then he would be out on her heels again, reaching out to catch her, but again she would slip from his grasp like a terrified butterfly. Yet the golden-haired god would not give up his wild pursuit. The dart of love had lit a fire within him, which could not be quenched. She can't last out much longer. Sooner or later she will tire, and I shall catch her, said Apollo to himself, as he kept on running after the nymph. Sure enough, Daphne was eventually begun to tire. Apollo drew nearer and nearer to her. Now he was stretching out his hands. Now he was about to charge her. Now she was almost in his grasp. "Oh, God and Mother Earth," gasped Daphne, "why do you let me fall into Apollo's clutches? I don't want Apollo for my husband. I would rather become a rock or a tree than have Apollo touch me." Hardly had Daphne spoken these words when her feet became rooted to the ground. From her hair and her arms sprang branches and leaves, while her body became the trunk of a tree. Thus the lovely nymph was transformed into a fragrant daphne bush, the familiar laurel of our own times. And instead of embracing her, Apollo found himself clutching an armful of leaves. The golden-haired god was overcome with sorrow. He was grieved to think that the nymph with whom he had fallen in love so suddenly and so deeply had been lost on his account. With sad eyes he fondled the foliage of the fragrant laurel, and then broke off a spray of leaves to weave a garland for his brow. Apollo was never to forget a lovely and untamable nymph, and that is why he is often shown wearing a circlet of laurel leaves on his head.